In this example, I'm given a partial sum, 5,712, and we need to find what sum this is, how many terms I would need to add up to get to this sum. And so right away you can see that going from 31 to 49 that we are adding 18, same thing from 49 to 67. So I know that this is arithmetic, and so I have my two arithmetic partial sum formulas right here. We're going to have to work backwards to solve for n. Now, these two formulas are pretty much the same thing. However, to use this first one, I would need to know the nth term. Well, that's not something I know since I don't know n. And so we're going to have to use the second formula because I do know my first term and I can find my common difference, which we already decided was 18. So I'm going to go ahead and set this equal to, my partial sum equal to the second partial sum formula. So n divided by 2 times the first term, 31, plus my common difference times n minus 1. From here, I'm going to have to multiply combine like terms. So I'm going to leave this number alone off to the left. I'm going to ignore the n over 2 for right now. This will end up giving me 62. And I'm going to distribute through this 18. So I will have 18n minus 18. From here, I'm going to combine like terms inside the parentheses. So 62 minus 18 will end up giving a 44. And then we have that plus 18n. From here, I'm going to distribute through this n over 2 and rearrange things a little bit. And so half of 18 is 9 times n is n squared. Half of 44 is 22, and then times n, so 22n. So what I'm left with, oops, forgot a 7 there, is quadratic equation. And so I'm going to get everything to one side. So I have 0 equals 9n squared plus 22n minus the 5,712. And so to solve this quadratic, I'm going to set up the quadratic formula. 9 would be A, 22 will be B, and then negative 5,712 will be C. So n will be equal to negative b, so negative 22, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So it's a good idea that you try to follow along with your calculator and just make sure that you're typing everything in correctly. I'm going to start by typing in my numerator. So negative 22 plus the square root of 22 squared minus 4 times 9 times negative 5,712. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this answer and divide by 2 times 9, which is 18. And so I end up getting 24 as my answer. Now, keep in mind that typically the quadratic formula gives us two answers, a positive and a negative, in the numerator. However, it only makes sense for our problem to have one answer that's positive. And so that means that we would have had to follow this pattern and write out 24 terms, add them all together to get this partial sum here.